Continuing to join us all right here. You know, we do top stories, headlines, and of course, breaking news when it happens. And that is exactly what we have here for you. We are just getting some news into the Daniel Penny trial. Remember, the jury had to come back for that second count. And we are now learning that Daniel Penny has been acquitted in his New York City trial here. So this is news that is just breaking right now. We learned, of course, that the jury was coming back, the Manhattan jurors weighing the fate of Marine veteran Daniel Penny, returning to court today, but only they were considering the lesser charge against him after a judge controversially tossed the more serious charge and avoided a mistrial. Remember, all of that really happening on Friday. There was a lot of back and forth, and then the jury just could not come to a decision on that first charge, the big charge against Daniel Penny. And so the court then brought that charge down. So the jury did not have to weigh that option anymore. But now they came back today and the jury acquitting Daniel Penny in this case. The jury previously had been instructed to deliberate the lesser charge of criminally negligent homicide only if they found Penny not guilty of manslaughter for some reason other than a lack of justification. Manslaughter is the second degree is dismissed, the judge told the jurors before sending them home on Friday. What that means is you are now free to consider count 2. Whether that makes any difference, I have no idea, she said there on Friday. Now everything changing, and right now we do have some live looks right here outside of the courthouse. We are going to probably be seeing Daniel Penny pretty soon here. Maybe his lawyers will be speaking. On Friday, we did see some people speaking out, especially from Black Lives Matter, who were very, very upset on Friday evening, and were making that known. But now we are going to see possibly Daniel Penny coming out here pretty soon with his lawyers, and we don't know if we'll hear from the prosecution as well, but that is always an option as well. Remember, the jury came back today to consider only the lesser charge. The judge issued a clarification to start the day saying, the court concluded it would be lawful to direct the jury to go on to count 2 because the DA withdrew count 1. The court thought under the law that withdrawal was dismissal. However, he said there's no clear black letter law on the issue. The defense had opposed the last-minute charge swap, arguing it presented a violation of state laws and could encourage a precedent where prosecutors overcharge from the start, knowing they can downgrade charges later on the fly if their case doesn't stand up. The risk here of a coercive verdict or a compromised verdict. New York is clear that compromised verdicts are discouraged. Penny's lawyers told the judge it would force them into what would be manufactured as to a lesser count of criminal negligence. Penny, who is 26, was an architecture student at City Tech in Brooklyn on May 1st, 2023, when he was taking an F train to a gym after class, and Jordan Neely, a 30-year-old homeless man who was high on drugs, barged onto the train and started shouting threats at passengers. After jurors remained there, deliberations on Monday continued. The defense asked to enter into the court record the loud noise of protesters that could be heard inside the courthouse. Before the day began, protesters both for and against Penny's freedom clashed outside. The anti-Penny faction, through a megaphone, continued making noise after the court began for the day, easily heard through open windows in the courthouse, the judge acknowledged. Penny's attorney, Thomas Kniff, said some of the statements like, quote, "If we don't get no justice, they get no peace," could be construed as threats to the jury. So these are just some of the many, many factors that we are seeing right now. Obviously, a lot of different shots that are coming in right now. And we have this shot right outside of the courthouse, awaiting Daniel Penny and his lawyers to come outside.